Good evening, YouTube. John Booter here, and my son.
Han.
My son George is shy right now. But we're going to be doing a little bit of a brainstorming session. We're going to be designing and then starting to code at least, or maybe finishing the code of a team randomizer. The idea was that this could be useful in filmmaking groups where you have a bunch of people that volunteer and they come in and you just want to sign them up on crews, different teams. You've had maybe your director, and then some people have acting desires or ability. Other people may just want to help with, carrying things or whatever, or prop making, things like that. So the idea is that to make this role randomizer or team randomizer app kind of flexible, in which you could have different roles. So we're going to kind of get into the nitty-gritty of designing it together, and then we'll kind of start on coding it and see where it goes. I think we'll cut it off before we get to an hour. So I wanted to see, I think we could design something and have something working in an hour.
No, and less.
Or maybe less. So just kind of get into talking about our stack here. Our tech stack is the same one I've done 2 tutorials on. It's the Windows Server on the EC2 T2.large instance type, and we've got SQL Server Management Studio.
And VS which will be useful.
Yeah, VS Code is definitely going to be useful. So while that opens up, let's just I'm going to bring up a new Word document over here, and then I'll put it on the screen there that we can work from. So let's see, team role randomizer application. So we're going to have to think about a table structure. So we've got participants. So that could be a table.
Table P.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be called participants. So we definitely want an ID number. So that's auto, it's identity. Just stands for that. Sometimes it's good to name it participant ID, but you can just call it ID. Definitely, they're going to have a first name.
And
last name. Now here's the question though. This is what we have to figure out. What if somebody wants to sign up for more than one role? So let's skip that one and let's talk about the roles table first. So we're starting, so roles, we could have director. We could
and
actor for sure. And what was it you said? Prop maker or something. Props.
Like prop / like help, like scene mate help, like help on and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, props. I'll just say props / scenes. I'll say props / sets. I think. Yeah, because I think we would call it sets in that case. Audio. Let's see, what else?
Filming.
Yeah, camera. So maybe somebody wants to direct. They feel like they have that vision, that creativity, but they don't really have a camera, which could just be a phone. I mean, whoever's running the camera, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a cinema camera or whatever. But so let's see. But we talked about, what if somebody wants to sign up as multiple roles? I mean, do we even want to allow that, or do we want to say like, hey, this is what you're signing up for? So
I think if we would, now I think we could
allow multiples.
Yeah,
we could do that.
Probably make it a little easy.
Yeah, we could do that. So we could say role, and then this is allow multiple. So what that means, talking about database tables, is that we probably don't want, actually, you know what? Let's separate this. So the participant, there's only one participant with the first name and a last name. And now we'll say there would be participant roles, and this is participant ID. So that's not unique because there would be more than one record with the same participant ID. And then we have role ID, which I forgot to put, well, let's just say this is logical list, not table. So the actual table structure is going to look a little bit different in that. And that'll make a little more sense as we get a little further down the road. So participant roles, so we've got participant ID and role ID. And that's, I think, all it really needs to be. So roles, we'll say that's the table. And table. So we're just going to have role ID, and then, well, I'll just call it description. So it'll be director, actor, prop set. Now, here's an interesting concern. What if somebody signs up to be a director? What if somebody signs up for everything? Like if I was going to do it, I'm not really that good at acting, I don't think. I haven't had much experience, so I'd sign up for probably everything else because I've got audio gear, I've got a camera. I could help with props and sets, or I could be a director, but I wouldn't sign up to be an actor. Which one of those would take priority? That's what we have to think of.
Director might. So
yeah.
Director and props and sets or high up there.
Yeah, I think so. So I think director would also, I agree with you that director would take priority because I think what we want to do is make sure we have enough directors so that each team has one. So each role would have a priority setting. So it could be a ranking, maybe. So like we're making it flexible so there could be as many roles as we want to punch in to this tool. But we would have to arrange them in order of priority, you know, from 1 to whatever number it goes to.
From 1 to how many people they want.
Priority, so yeah, priority ranking, so however many roles are possible. So priority ranking. So let's say, for example, we've got one John Booter, and that's it. So one John and then Booter. And then we've got, well, I'll just make a new line. So 2 George Booter. And then participants table. So let's say, well, I'll start with the roles first. So example, we've got role 1 is going to be director. Priority ranking is 1. Role 2, actor. Priority ranking is 2. 3, props, sets is 3. 4, audio is 4. And 5, camera is 5. So that's pretty much just the ID number is the ranking. But let's say we wanted props and sets to be 5. Well, we wanted camera to be 3, and then audio to stay as 4. Because we'll say props and sets. I mean, people could kind of just chip in and do that. We definitely need a director, an actor, and a camera. But cameras have audio built in. As much as it pains me to say it, a dedicated audio person is not a strict requirement.
Yeah, you could just so with roles you could just put audio.
Yeah.
Optional.
So it's kind of optional, and then prop sets we could kind of just wing it. So we've got a priority ranking. So now what we have is a participant role. This is when a person signs up. So say the participant ID is 1, and then the role ID, I'm going to sign up for 1. And then I'm also going to sign up, not for actor, but I'm going to sign up for camera, and then I'm going to sign up for audio, and I don't really care about props and sets. And then say for George, he's going to sign up for audio, just kicks and giggles, and then he is going to sign up for props and sets. So we'll kind of get into, you know, how that plays once we have some sample data in there, it's going to make a little more sense, I think. And if we need to come back to the drawing board, then we'll come back to the drawing board.
Which might.
We might. But I think that stands to work pretty well for us. So let's get in there and create some tables and then punch in some data, and then we can kind of run some queries on it. So let me just, we'll just connect with Windows Authentication, and then I'll actually shrink this down a bit so we can do this and still see that. Do what? Well, that's okay. I mean, it shrinks it. So when this is, it's in remote desktop, so it'll kind of change sizes as it needs to. I think that your sound is a little bit quieter than mine, so let me just bump yours up slightly. Yeah, say something real quick. Okay, I think that's good. So we'll create a new database. So we'll right click on databases, we'll click new database here, and then we'll say it's going to be, what is it? What should we call this application here? Randomificator? Or
that sounds like something Dr. Seuss would come up with.
something, yeah. Or team builder or team randomizer or something, or
Roledomizer.
Roledomizer?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So we'll call the database name Roledomizer. And then on the options, no, not options. We'll just create it, and then we'll go into properties and permissions. Public. No, I think. Let me just create a new. Actually, we can just do tut user. Yeah, we'll just go in on properties to under tut user.
Because we don't count.
User map. So Roledomizer, we'll give him data reader, data writer. So tut user, we'll be able to use that. So we can use the same database connection string for that. So that'll be good. And then, okay, so we've got Roledomizer. And then what we can do is make a new table. So we've got our kind of our working thing over here. So let's start with the participants. So we've got ID. Data type is going to be int, and then we're going to scroll down here to identity specification. We'll make is identity to yes, and then we've got first name. So yeah, we'll do varchar 50. Whoops, why did I type first name again? Last name. And we'll do varchar 50, and we won't allow nulls on either. So somebody has to have a first name and a last name.
It's because
And
you
then
can't have the same, because they
this
have
one,
to.
we'll call it participants. And then next thing we'll make is participant roles. So refresh, make that one in there, so that's good. We'll do a new table. So we'll have participant ID. Data type is int, but it's not an identity specification. So this is, it's considered a foreign key, but I'm not gonna actually set it up as a key for that. It's just gonna, there can't be null, and then we'll just have role ID, which is also a foreign key. So it's going to have to match up with a participant and with a role, but we're going to kind of enforce that in the logic of the application as we build the front end and the back end to interface with the database here shortly. So we've got participant ID and role ID. So we'll call this one participant roles. You know what? I'm going to do camel case. So participant roles for the table. I probably should have spelled it or capitalized it the way I had it over here. But anyway, participant roles. Then I'll refresh here. And then we're also going to create a new table called roles. So we've got role ID, which I'll just call ID. It's an int. And then it's going to be identity. So we'll go down here. So is identity is going to be yes. And then we've got our description, which is varchar 50, can't be null. And then we're going to have our priority ranking. I think just an int will be fine on this one. No nulls. We'll save that, so then we're going to call it roles. Okay, and we'll refresh, and we've got our tables in there. I think that'll be good. So we've got John Booter, potential director, John Booter, potential props, no? Oh.
Camera.
Oh, camera. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. I meant to put 5 on that one. Oop, that's loud. Anyway, so yeah, anyway, see, I confused myself with the participant ID and then the role ID. So yeah, 3. I guess I signed myself up for props and sets and then audio, so that's fine. And then, yeah, it's a role ID. I think that'll work. So let's go ahead and just kind of dive in. We can copy and paste a lot of the code that we've actually created for the existing one here. So we'll just make a new folder called Roledomizer. So maybe we've got a webalizer there. Now we've got a Roledomizer. So I'm just going to copy our PHP source files into here. And then we'll modify the tutorial files that we had before. So Roledomizer.
And VS Code.
So we'll close out of those files, and then we'll close out of htdocs. We'll go ahead and open up a new folder, which we're going to go C drive, XAMPP, htdocs, and then Roledomizer. Select folder. So on our left-hand pane, we have our files. So index, this is kind of where we had all of our insert new person, which we can kind of still use. We can just call it participant. And then instead of favorite color, we're going to change this to, well, actually, we're just going to take that out. So we don't even need them to have favorite colors, because when we're adding a participant, that's all there is to it. So if they've got a first name and a last name,
that's all we need.
And it'll generate, yeah. And then modify person, we don't need this to update their favorite color, but what we do need is to sign up a person for a role. So let me just take this out and we'll say sign up participant for role. And we'll just, it's a little inconvenient, but we'll say that they have to do it, one time for each role that they want to sign up for, which is fine for our, very simple cases here. So we'll say the form action is going to be query insert.php again, and then we're going to have an input type of hidden, and then we're going to say the name is insert role sign up, and then we'll say our value is 1, and then we're going to give it our form fields there. So we'll say the participant, so participant ID, participant, and then we're going to close that label tag, On this one, this is a function that doesn't exist yet, but we'll say PHP, we'll say select participants. So we've got one, we've got our select people down here, which we're just going to modify for
Select participants.
participants. Am I spelling that? Participants? Yeah. Participants. Select participant. So we're going to select the participant, and then we're going to select the role as well. So we're going to make a label for equals role ID, and then we're going to say the name equals, let's see, oh, we don't need a name, not for a label, so we'll say role, and then we're going to close the label tag, and we're going to do the PHP select role. And we're going to break, and then we're going to do input type equals submit. We don't really need a delete person function in this one, I don't think.
So don't use it.
Yeah, and then we won't need the table of people with their favorite colors, so I'll take that out. I'll take out those two horizontal rule lines.
So apparently this will actually just have like individual set tables for the people with the roles.
Yeah. And what we do need is insert new role. So sign up participant for role. So I think after this, I will actually give it an HR, and then we'll say insert new role. And then let's see, for roles, we have a role ID, a description, and then a priority ranking. So we kind of expect that the ranking might need to change. But I think in this case we can just say that we'll just type in what the role will be, so that what the ranking will be. So let's say form action equals query insert.php, and then we'll say an input type. Oops. Input type equals hidden. And then the name is insert new role. Yeah, insert new role, and then the value equals 1. And the label for, so the first thing we want is just our role description. So role description, and then role description. I'm going to do a break. And now we're going to say the input type. This is the first time we're doing it. Oh, never mind, it's not the first time. We have text inputs for the last name. So input type equals text, and then we'll say that's called role description.
And for the first name.
Yep, and then priority ranking. So then we'll do label for equals priority ranking, and then we'll say priority ranking, close the label tag, break. Input type equals, that one has to be a number, and we'll say that the step is 1, so it has to be a full number, like a whole number, just to save some hassle, so people don't try to put in 1.5 or 1.6 or something. Yeah, I mean we can always cast it as an integer on the back end, which we'll get into here shortly, but that's that. So we got step 1. So that means it'll start from, and then we'll say the minimum equals 1. We won't set a maximum. And then the name is priority ranking. Okay, good. So now we're going to do a break, and then we'll say our input type equals submit. Cool. And then we'll close the form. So I think that's about all we need for now. We can add roles, we just got to make it functional. So we've got, we've got insert new role, insert role sign up, and insert person. So all these are under query insert. So, are we keeping insert person? I think, I wanted it to be insert participant. Just participant, yeah. So if is set insert participant, and then we'll change it here, insert participant, and then we'll just change it here, participant, And then we're just going to print the request. And then, yeah, we'll change it down there. Good point. We'll change this to participant as well. So we don't need their new favorite color. And then we'll get rid of the favorite color here and here. So there's only needs to be 2 and here. Yep, very good. So we're gonna comment out that part in the code, and we're just gonna take a look at our request object on that one.
Okay. So
And then we're gonna kind of just create some empty functions for the other stuff, because we've got what was it called? We have insert role sign up. So we'll say insert role sign up. And then we'll go ahead and put in the required db.php, and then we'll do the print r request. And then we're gonna actually just copy that. And then the next thing we wanted was insert new role. So we're going to say insert new role. So now we're going to just copy this if is set condition. So insert participants there. And then if we said insert role sign up, we're going to jump down to that function, insert role sign up. And then we're going to paste this again, insert new role. And then we're going to run the function insert new role. So now we're going to save this, and we're just going to go to localhost / Roledomizer. Did what have I done wrong there? Roledomizer, HT docs, right?
did you upload it?
XAMPP. Oh, you know what? I don't think XAMPP was actually running.
No.
I think I have to start it.
No, it isn't running. I would've.
Maybe. I don't know. Let's check. Yeah.
No, it isn't down there.
Yeah, it's. Oop, I don't want that there. I want it. Okay. So.
Now it's running.
Yeah, XAMPP control panel. So Apache doesn't look like it's. Okay, so let's start this. So I guess we would have had to set it up to start on startup, since I powered the server off and then again turned it on again. XAMPP wasn't running, so the web server wasn't actually running. The database server was. Okay, so this is what we've got. So select participants is not defined yet in query select. Okay, so let's go into our query select tool and our file, and then we're going to do pretty much. We're just going to change select people. I'm just going to change it. So select participants, and then we've only got ID, first name, last name in this case, and it's called participants instead of people. And then let's see, the select name. Did we already figure out what we wanted it to be called? I don't think we did. Participant ID. Let's see, I had selected participant ID, so I'll just call it selected participant ID. I'll just update that to selected participant ID, just so we're staying consistent there. We'll save that. Choose a participant. And then we've got, actually, let me just word wrap here. So we don't care about their favorite color. So we're just gonna have the first name and last name. And then this part, we'll just go ahead and take out that commented one. So select.
Because we don't need it.
All right, so select participant. Is it? Oh, yeah, participants. Okay, good. And then, did I call a function select roles from index? Yeah, select role is also not defined, so we're just gonna copy this, and then we're gonna say select roles. Did I say? Yeah. Oh, role. So look, you know what? I'm going to call it participant in the singular because we're only selecting one. I think that makes more sense. Select participant rather than participants. So select, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so then we're going to do select role. So our role table is a little bit different. So we've got ID, we didn't call it role ID, but we called it description, and then we called it priority ranking. But we did it with camel case. So, and then I think we're going to say selected role ID. Did I do that? Oh, role ID. Yeah, let's call it selected role ID here on the label, so we're consistent. A lot of programming is remembering what you just did a few minutes ago, or struggling thereof. Anyway, so choose a role ID, and then we've got the description and the priority ranking. Pretty sure that's high. Is that how I had? Oh, okay. See, I just proved myself wrong there. It is capitals. Okay. Okay. See, I just forgot what I did a few minutes ago. Okay, so ID, description, and then priority ranking with capital P, capital R. So description and priority
now
ranking.
it's very much prioritized.
Yeah, okay, so description, priority ranking. So let's save that. Let's go and refresh our page here. Roledomizer query select, no such file required, db.php. Oh, because we didn't copy the db.php in there. Really? What an oversight on my part.
That should have happened.
I forgot it because it was up here. It was sorted alphabetically, and I didn't paste it in there. But that brings up a good point, because the database that we're using is no longer tutorial. It's Roledomizer. The user and the password are still the same, but that would have given us a different error message. Now it gives us no error messages, but also no data, because we need to put in our participants.
Because
So-
we need to choose them as, because the participant name will be, and the role will be.
So let's see, let's insert new participant. We've got, it's not doing anything, but we've got insert participant set. We've got a new first name. We've got a new last name. So that's good. So now we'll go back to our code to query insert.php, and in insert participant, let's go ahead and uncomment that. But now we've got to change it to participants, and then let's make sure that our casing is still good. So ID, first name, last name, that should all be good. And then we've got new first name going in there, so that should work. So we'll save it, and then we'll go in and submit it again. Successfully added participant. Good. So now when I refresh this page, we have a participant. So now I'm going to go add a second participant, George Booter. We'll submit. Successfully added participant. Good. I'll refresh the page. Now we've got two. Now we don't have roles, and we also don't have our ability to add new roles yet, because we didn't do that quite yet. So insert new role. So I've role description and priority ranking is not there. What happened there? I think what happened, so if we see what we have in the code here is not actually what's showing on the screen. I think what's happening is a tag was not closed properly. So let's look closely at our code here. So we've got a form open, a form close. We've got a form open, form close up here. I bet what's happening is somewhere in our PHP, it's not closing a select.
Probably in with one of those, either select participant or select role.
So we've got an opening, label, closing, opening, closing. So let's check our query select. So yeah, either select participant or select role.
But it won't be in database. Yeah.
What's going on there? So we do close the select tag on select participant. We do close the select tag on select role. Here's what's wrong. We didn't tell it where to select from, so that's kind of a weird error because it's having trouble with the query, so it's just giving up completely and not ever closing the tag because the whole function fails. So
No, it's just cementing. It's just super going to open.
So when you don't tell it what table to select from, if you eagle-eyed viewers caught that several minutes ago, then you're probably laughing at my expense right now. But hey, good on you.
Or just commenting commenting angrily.
Yeah, commenting angrily, right?
With the time.
So now, when I refresh it, we have no data, but we do have the rest of our form, and now we have insert new role. So let's say our role description was director and priority was 1. So our data is going through just fine, the query insert. So we've got role description, priority ranking. So let's go into query insert and insert new role. So let's go ahead and write the actual code for that. So let's say, so we've got, what was it? We've got role description and priority ranking. So role description equals request role description, and then priority ranking equals request priority ranking. And now our statement is going to be insert into participant roles, which I think the table names were what I was thinking of. So participant roles is the camel case, so lowercase p, uppercase r, and then we're going to do, let's check what it is here, participant roles. So we got participant ID and then role ID, and then that's it. Oh, you know what? We're doing new roles. We're not doing a role sign up. Okay. So we're doing, okay, insert into roles. Yeah, that's the one above that I'm thinking of. So, okay, good. Insert into roles, and then roles is comprised of an ID, description, priority ranking. ID is going to be auto since we set identity specification.
Is int?
Did we? I think we did. Yes, okay. So all we need to do is description and priority ranking. Perfect. So description and priority ranking, and then we're going to do values, 2 question marks. We're going to do the statement is going to be just like above, SQL serve prepare con SQL, and then an array with and $, role description, and then and $, priority ranking. I'm just pressing enter to autocomplete, but tab works as well. And then we can copy and paste this sort of limited error checking functionality there, and then just change successfully added participant to successfully added role. So now let's go back and let's just refresh the page and see what we get. Successfully added role, great. So now let's go back and refresh our main menu here. Now I've got the role of director and a number 1. So what is that number 1? Let's go check in query select.php what it's actually doing on select role. So it's selecting ID, description, priority ranking. And it's printing description and priority ranking. So director is priority 1. So instead of just having that kind of nondescript number 1, let's put this in here in this text where the empty space is, and we'll just say priority 1. And then we'll go back and refresh the page here.
And be director priority 1.
Director. But let's just put a dash in between. So director, and then we'll say a dash. And then, do you need to take a little break? Or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. So director, and then priority 1. So let's add a new role. Let's see, we wanted actor, priority ranking 2. or yeah, 2. So we've added that, and then let's do camera was 3. Oh, not 23. 3.
22 would be bad.
Yeah.
It'd be
So
like
camera is
broken
3.
camera.
And then let's say we wanted audio to be 4. Put that in. And we want props and sets to be 5, not 45.
That'd be
5.
bad.
Okay, cool. So now when we refresh our page, we've got all of our roles, and it so happens that they're sorted by priority. That kind of works
Not alphabetically.
for our purposes. So let's flesh out this insert function for the role signups.
Well, actually,
What's that?
I think they're actually identified organized by order, entered.
They are, yeah. It just so happens that we put them in order of the priority. But you're right, they are.
Mm-hmm.
So like if we were to, that's a very good point, George. Thank you for bringing that up. But yeah, if we bring up SQL Server Management Studio and then we do select on the roles, we can actually see the full set of data there. So we've got the ID and then priority ranking. If we were to edit that, it would still sort by ID. We can also do on our select statement, we can do an, sorry, I keep going too far down on the screen there. Let me shrink this so that I'm not quite as tempted to do that. So in our query select file, we can actually order by. So we could just do order by description if we wanted to, ascending. And then when we refresh our page, our roles are actually sorted actor, audio, camera, director, and that's fine. Honestly, for participants, we probably want it ordered by that, but for this one, let's just say we wanted it ordered by priority, ranking, ascending, which will end up being the same as the entered order this time, but if we start monkeying with it, it'll change a bit. So now let's go ahead and flesh out our participant roles. Sign up. So let's see what data is being pushed in. So we'll do myself and we'll sign me up for director. So we've got selected participant ID and selected role ID, which is pretty straightforward. So now let's start building that. So selected participant ID. So I'll just say participant ID equals request, and then it'll be the selected participant ID. And then role ID is going to be request selected role ID. And then our statement is going to pertain to that database structure. So we're going to insert into participant roles, the participant roles, and then it's just going to be, we'll check our structure here, participant roles, participant ID, role ID. Perfect. So participant ID and then role ID. And then we're going to do values, question mark, and then our statement, SQL Serve prepare, con, SQL, and then an array consisting of $sign and $sign participant ID, comma, and $sign role ID. And then again, we'll just copy and paste our kind of error checking and execution code block there. And we will change participant role sign up. So now, let's go ahead and test that. Successfully added participant role sign up.
Yay,
So now I wanted to sign myself up as a director, camera, audio. Okay. And then we wanted to sign George up as, let's see, what was it?
Some props and sets.
Props and sets and camera, right? Or just props and sets?
Just props and sets.
Okay, so just props and sets. Cool.
And now we can add stuff to
now,
database.
Let's look at the actual data in participant roles. We'll select top 1000 rows. So we've got me in there 3 times and Georgia in there twice. Now what we can do is just kind of write a bit of a query, because the rest of what we want to do is, we're sitting at about 45 minutes. So I think we've got a good framework, but we're not going to be able to really complete it to make it actually assign randomized teams in this first hour, but maybe in the second hour. But what we can do is kind of write some queries and talk about a little bit about that. So we're going to select participant ID, role ID from participant roles, which is going, I'm gonna trim this down. We'll just call it participant roles PR. So what this is called is an alias. And then we're going to do a join. So we're going to do an inner join, and then we're going to say participants P, and we're going to join it. So when you join, you're telling it an equivalency. So participant ID equals ID on the participants table. So 1 corresponds to John Booter. So on equals we'll say PR.participant ID equals P.ID. So we've joined it, and now we want to actually show, so we'll say PR.participant ID and then PR.role ID, because as soon as you start adding other tables, you always want to specify which table you're pulling each field from. So PR.participant ID, and I like to have commas on the first part of this here, which kind of messes up the tabs, so then you have to tab to make them all line up, but anyway. And then we're going to do P dot first name.
Not first name with the U on it.
And then P dot last name. So now when we run this query, we've got first name John, last name Booter. So that's pretty much just showing us who that is. So if we wanted to, we could get rid of participant ID, but we'll leave it for now. And then let's also do the role ID. And then we'll interjoin roles. So I like to put these kind of statements on their own line. So then we'll do an interjoin of roles R on PR. So we're going to join it to the main table that we're connecting to here. So PR.role ID equals R.ID. And now we can do R.description. So SSMS kind of knew what we had to choose from when we type R dot. So description, so that's pretty much our information there. So we've got one guy that could be director, camera, audio, props, and then one guy that could be props and sets, sorry. So let's just go in and put a few more people in, just for kicks. So let's put Riley Booter in, and we'll say that, we'll submit. We'll go back and refresh the page, and then we'll choose Riley Booter. We'll put him in as an actor, because he likes to act up.
And we should move that out from down.
And then let's see, let's put in Lillian also. And then we'll go ahead and we'll refresh, and then we'll put Lillian in. We'll put her in definitely as an actor and also props and sets.
Because that's something she would do.
Oh, definitely. And we don't have to mess with the rankings. But then let's see, let's put your mother in as audio, because she knows how not to talk, and you kids don't.
Except for me.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. So audio, whoops, I click on camera. Okay, cool. So now we've got some more signups. So let's just go into SSMS and we'll re-execute the query. So now we've got a bit of a longer list. So now we've got something of a data set. We've only got one director, but as a human looking at this, we sort of extrapolate that into something we can work with. But to tell a computer what to do with this type of data is going to be a bit more of a conversation. So we've got, director, we've got a couple of actors. Looks like I'm going to have to be director and camera. Well, I guess that'll have to work. But we do have somebody to be audio, and then we've got a couple of people that can be props and sets, but one of them is going to be busy acting. So it looks like you'll be props and sets, Mom will be audio,
And will be props
and then if we need 2 actors, it just kind of depends. We'll have 2 actors and then be director and camera. So if this was a huge data set, if like hundreds of people, that would get really interesting, because then you kind of want as many teams as possible so that it's fun, but you also want kind of a balanced number of actors on each team so that everybody has roughly the same number. So what we're going to have to do is kind of develop an algorithm. I think I would start with the actors and then kind of divide that by the number of directors. So right now it's 2 divided by 1. So, both actors will go to the same director, but we may end up seeing that, yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought. Sorry, I looked at the time. So yeah, it's been 50 minutes. Do you have anything you want to add or questions you want to bring up? Or?
So, are we gonna add anything to database?
Well, this is what's in the database now.
Like the code database.
Oh, to show it? Yeah, why don't we make a report that'll show in a table form what all's there. So we've got the show color table, which we actually don't call that function at all, so we can just change that to, let's see, we could think about how we want to visualize it. Should we do it by the participant and what they've signed up for?
I think so.
Yeah, that would be good.
And plus, instead, favorite color would be, for this one would be good.
Okay, good. So we're definitely selecting from participants. So we're doing their first name, their last. You know what? Let's write the query first. So let's just select it from participants, P, and then we're going to interjoin participant roles, PR, and we can leave that alone actually, and then roles. So what we want is we want P dot first name, P dot last name, PR. We don't really care about role ID, but we definitely want role description. So let's see what that looks like. It may not. Yeah, okay. So what we want to do here, this will be fun. I wonder if we can do it in 7 or 8 minutes. It may go a hair over an hour, but that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this data down this way, but let's say we're going to order it. Order by participant ID. So P.ID ascending, which it kind of is now, so that's good. So, and then we're going to push it into an array. Well, yeah, because we wanted it to show each person once in the table, but a description of all their rows, right? Like of all their roles that they signed up for. So like it would say John Booter, and then possible roles, director, camera, audio with commas in between. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. So this is our query. Let's just trim up these spaces here.
So basically we could just join it to 7.
Yeah, so we're going to copy that. Yeah, it's going to show only the people. So each participant's going to have their own row. So let's paste that query in there. Darn it, that tab stuff got really messed up here.
Let's go Control Z.
Yeah, that'll work, I guess. Just
That's
give it a little
lines.
space. So we've got a table, so we've got their name, and then we've got their roles. But actually, I'm going to bring since we're going to have to use a temporary array here, so I'm just going to bring the actual table generation down because we're going to have to do some stuff in PHP aside from that. So first thing we do before we loop through the data is we're going to say the array is going to be, hold on a second, so participant roles, I may have to select their ID. Participant roles. Yeah, I'm thinking through that one. Yeah, let me look at the results again and think about that. So we might want their ID number. So p.id. I'm not gonna. I'll just use it. Yeah, PID. So this array is gonna have one director, one camera, one audio. Yeah, we'll just do that.
So we could basically like.
So we're actually gonna say participant roles equals an array. So we're gonna create a new array, and then participant first names is an array, and then participant last names is also an array. So what we're going to do is kind of push things into this array. So the first one is going to be an associative array. So we're going to say participant roles plus equals, and then we're going to do let me see if I remember this properly. So in square braces, we're going to do row. Okay, so I need the ID. So p.id as participant ID. So row, we'll call this participant ID. And then an associative array has a key and a value. So the participant, oh, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. Row participant ID. And then, oh, are we going to walk through it? Yeah, I think we are. While, no, we're just going to push through one. Oh, dang it. I'm trying to think through this one. So we're going to have, let's see. Maybe we create a new array for each participant, but that makes it kind of complicated. When you start dealing with data structures, you have to like really think it through before you write the code, or you end up just kind of wasting time. So that's what I'm kind of doing right now. Participant ID, and then, well, let's just see what this looks like. Yeah, so participant ID, and then we've got, I think we do want role ID. No, just role description. That should be fine. So description. So participant ID and then description. And then we'll leave that blank table, but what we'll do is just print R, and then we'll print our participant roles array that we've just created there. And then what we'll do is actually call that table. So show participant table, we'll call that from our index page here. So we'll do a horizontal rule, and then we'll go PHP and then show participant. What's happening here? Show participant table. If I require, oh, yeah, require query select.php. Show participant. No, there it is. Yeah, it just took a second to. I was being lazy. I didn't want to type the whole thing out, but anyway. Name role. Okay, so array 1 director, 2 prop sets, 3. Okay, yeah. So it's only doing the first one. So 2 prop sets, 3 actor, 4 actor. Yeah. So what I want is an array. So it's gonna have participant ID, and then yeah. So we need. Yeah. It's a little too late. I don't want to think through that right now. But this is our query that we've got. We'll save it, and we'll continue on it. We have to figure out the data structure and how to show that table in a good report, and then we'll actually figure out the code, the algorithm to assign members to the team. So this is our participant report. We'll just save it, and we'll just close and everything. So
And we should know how to clear it.
yeah. Anyway, to be continued. Thank you guys for watching. Tune in next time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Bye.